All right, so this is no BS, no long sales presentation, no door knocker. It's just a really quick video to see the savings you can expect if you decide to go solar. So in this video, I'll show you why it is a good time to go solar and a story about a family we just helped save $47,000 over 25 years and breaking the numbers down and showing you how I got that number. I used to often ask myself these questions about solar before I learned about it, and I'm sure you probably asking yourself these questions too. Why is it the right time to even go solar? Why can't I just wait till solar panels get cheaper, right? They're expensive. The savings aren't enough every single month. It doesn't really make sense for me. Well, the reason why it is the best time to go solar right now is because of two things. There's an inverse relationship between the cost of utility rates and the cost of solar. And they're starting to intersect, and it's starting to make a lot more sense of doing it. And the 25-year savings that will accumulate will build up a wealth building amount of money just by making a super simple switch on changing who your energy provider is. So the utility rates are always increasing over time, and I've done historical numbers on this, and it's about a 4% average inflation rate. So those numbers will continue to go up every single year. And every single year, the cost of solar continues to go down, creating this inverse relationship. And we are beyond the point of the intersection to where solar is starting to get cheaper than it is to buy electricity from your local utility company. So in 2010, it literally cost $378 to produce 1 megawatt of energy from solar panels. In 2019, literally only 9 years later, it cost only $68 to produce the same 1 megawatt hour of energy. The cost of solar over 9 years literally dropped 80%. That is only 9 years. But here's how much utility rates are increasing every year. So specifically in California, I took the price per kilowatt hour from 1998 to 2021 to figure out how much the price has increased and how much you can expect an average inflation rate of utility rates. The price per kilowatt hour in 1998 in California was 9.48 cents. And in 2021, it's literally 23.36 cents. That resulted in a 145% increase over about 25 years. That's around 23 years. That resulted in around an average of 4.5% every single year. Now, there's many reasons as to why the cost of electricity is increasing, but I found out that there's 4 main reasons as to why your utility rates are constantly increasing every single year. Number 1 is pretty simple. The demand for electricity, it's always increasing, right? You have to take 2 things into account. The population of the world is always increasing exponentially, and the advancement of technology is increasing. So the more products and gadgets and things we use every single day that require energy are going to increase the amount of energy usage and need and demand we actually require for the things we use on a daily basis. I gotta read this one because this one is important. In 1998, the United States consumed 94.23 quadrillion BTU. That's British thermal units. In 2011, the United States consumed 97.710 BTU. That's roughly a 3 quadrillion increase in BTU over literally 13 years. That's a 3.7% increase in consumption in little over 10-year span. And literally every single 10 years, every single decade that passes, that percentage will increase because the demand for energy will exponentially grow as we grow as a population and as we grow in innovation in technology. The main second factor is non-renewable supply. We obviously have a limited amount of coal, oil, and natural gas on this planet, and especially with what is going on with gas prices nowadays, we could definitely see that the price of natural gas, oil, coal will eventually start to increase over time because the supply is limited and the demand will start to increase. The third thing is grid maintenance and extra fee costs. So as time goes on, the grid will start to wear down, and as more energy gets produced and distributed through the grid, the more the grid will wear down faster. And those costs, for some reason, get transferred over to the customer from the utility companies instead of the utility companies getting more advanced and innovating on their technology and taking on that cost themselves. And if you actually take a look at your utility bill, you could see that a lot of those extra fees and maintenance and distribution costs is almost half, if not more than half, of your actual bill. So you're paying more than half of your bill just to get the energy from the utility company to your house, and for the maintenance and extra fees that they charge you for instead of taking that on themselves as a company. And then the last most important thing and the most relevant factor happening right now is the switch to energy independence. There's 7.8 million owner-occupied housing units in California, and 1.2 million of those have residential solar. And you have to think, when customers don't pay for their electricity anymore through the utility company and they acquire their really clean renewable energy from solar panels, that customer has been lost to the utility company. So for them to keep the same exact profit margin and the same amount of profit they want to keep over time, they have to increase the utility rates to keep up with the loss of customers they have, so that the customers that are actually paying are paying more than what they were, so those profit margins stay intact. And now that we have figured out kind of how much the utility rates have increased over 23 years and why they increase, let's go ahead and figure out how much savings we're gonna make in that little pocket of inflation and see how much you can actually save based on an example I have here in the video.
Game begin.
So the most important thing you're gonna wanna know for your savings is you have to make sure you get your system size right. If you don't get your system size right and you end up using more than you produce, you're gonna have an offset and you're gonna be buying electricity from the utility company again. So to figure out that calculation for the system size, you can go ahead and check out my previous video here on the channel. And you can also use a really simple Google Sheets calculator that I made down in the link in the description. For this example that the family who helped serve and helped get solar panels on their roof, they used about 22.65 kilowatt hours on an average daily basis. And if we take a look at the very base rate of the 23.36 cents of how much it costs for the utility rates, not including distribution fees, transportation costs, extra maintenance costs and fees, that person's only spending $158 a month on electricity. Now that might not seem like a lot, but when I show you how much this person is going to be spending on solar, it'll make a lot more sense. When actually looking through the utility bills to get the average amount of kilowatt hours they were using on average, they actually were averaging about $400 plus a month on their utility bill. So you can expect the savings to be a lot more than what I'm going to show in this video, but I just wanted to do the very bare minimum to give you a very conservative outlook and calculation to show you what the possible amount of money you could save based on the most conservative numbers possible. So inputting all the information to get the correct solar system size, this family needed about a 5.99 kilowatt hour system. And at a $3.60 per watt cost, that would run them about $21,564 for a 5.99 kilowatt hour system. Now to figure out the monthly cost of the solar system, we have to do a few things. So the first thing we have to do is we have to take into account the government aid that the government is gonna give for us for the solar system. So in 2022, that percentage is 26%, but in case you're watching this in 2023, we'll just go ahead and use 22% and again, use conservative numbers. The second thing we need to know is who you're using to finance the system if you're gonna own it. So if you're gonna do a 25-year payback plan and a 1.25% interest, those are the numbers we're gonna use here based on the finances we gave for this family, and that'll go ahead and show you how much it's gonna cost over 25 years. So after inputting all of the information for this customer, all the information on the system size, the interest rate, and the amount of time that's gonna be paid back, this customer is only gonna be spending $65 a month on solar at the very bare minimum conservative number. Now, if this person wanted to make sure that they absolutely had an abundance of energy that was produced for the system and they didn't have offset, they can increase their system size and still only be paying $80 to $90 a month. So taking our existing $158 a month payment and inputting that 4.2% interest rate over 25 years, this person's gonna be saving $47,239 literally just by switching where they get their energy source and who they're actually paying for the energy. And the crazy thing is when you own your energy and you own your solar panels, you're essentially paying yourself back in equity every single month by paying back that loan and adding more equity to the solar system that you own now. But imagine taking into account all the transportation fees, the extra maintenance, the grid maintenance costs, the fees, the distribution and transportation costs. You can see that savings are actually gonna be a lot higher than what I just said today. And you could see those savings skyrocket over time, especially because of the inflation rate that we took into account. So that was just a really quick breakdown that I wanted to do for you guys Super simple, super short video. If you guys want to see more in-depth stuff, go ahead and leave down the comments down below. And if you guys really enjoyed this video, leave a like. We want to spread the awareness and make sure as many homeowners and as many owners of property as possible can find the savings for solar. And if you guys did like this content and want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a jiff.